In today's video, I'm going to cover my top 5 favorite leopard gecko content creators.
Selling in the billions each year, Rainbow Mealworms is your one-stop shop for all your insect needs. Their quality feeders and A+ customer service keep me coming back to support the health and growth of all of our animals. Visit them today at rainbowmealworms.net to place your order.
Okay, now when it comes to content creation, there's a lot of different categories that I could judge this by. But for the sake of argument, let's say that everybody on this list has to have a YouTube channel, Instagram, and at least a Facebook. TikTok is a plus. And please guys, if you did not make this list, do not take offense. This is not that I don't follow you or love your content. It's just that I could only do 5 out of 5,000 different breeders that exist in the leopard gecko world. I'm sure your name will make the cut eventually. Work hard, stay humble, be focused, and maybe you'll be on our channel one day as well. Starting it off at number 5 is Junior's Geckos, or Junior's Leos. There's a couple different names that he kind of goes by depending on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, but I'll show him here. Now, I used to talk to Junior a lot, and I remember when he was first getting into the hobby, he was going into clown, he was going into cipher, he was going into purplehead, and he picked some really high quality, amazing genetics to invest in, and that shows on his page. I mean, take a look at his Instagram page right now. When I first used to see him taking photos, a lot of the photos were like washed out by light. If you take photos outside, you know what I mean. The sunlight completely washes out the colors, but there is a tactic to taking photographs that I'm not even that familiar with, and it looks like he's got it down pat. His photos recently have been super, super nice, and his growth on Instagram is very, very organic. What do I mean by that? Whether you have 2,000 followers or 20,000 followers, that doesn't matter. What matters is the likes. How much is somebody actually liking your content? Because there is a way to buy subscribers and buy followers in a way. Instagram lets you pay to promote your content. But then when they promote your content, they might not promote it to people that actually like your content. And so you get inorganic or unfaithful followers that wind up not really liking leopard geckos even. And so they don't heart your stuff. They don't comment on your stuff. They don't like your stuff. But I was looking at Junior's likes the other day. His likes are through the roof. For his 2,000 followers, he has about almost a 5 to 10% ratio of the amount of followers he has to the amount of likes that he receives. And that's amazing. There's much bigger content creators that do not get nearly close to 5 to 10% of likes to follower ratio. Number 4 on the list is Luna Geckos. Now, if you follow Luna Geckos for any period of time, you'll see that he has a very active YouTube channel. Now, I know this year has been a big year for him. He's been busy, he's been moving, but in general, he posts content, he makes videos, and he has a decently growing and large following, especially in the leopard gecko YouTube world. Or sorry, I should say leopard gecko breeder YouTube world. What do I mean by that? If you look at leopard gecko breeders that are on YouTube, the #1 largest breeding channel for leopard geckos is NBK Reptiles. Now, he left the hobby for about 10 to 12 years and he just came back now and he's starting to post a little bit. But YouTube doesn't care about that. YouTube wants you to post consistently. So looking at Matt's channel, which is NBK Reptiles, it hasn't even grown since he's been back. What it's gonna take for Matt to continue to grow and be relevant in the YouTube world is he needs to create fresh content. Because people like Luna Geckos, Gekkopia, myself, Junior's Leos, other people that are making content on YouTube, that stuff will start to become more relevant over time and start to push his content out of the picture. And Matt has amazing content. Most of us, the people that I just mentioned, all learned from Matt's videos. So I love Matt. I would love to get him on a show. I would love to get him on our channel, have a conversation with the guy, because I still love the guy and I love the content that he brought. And I love the content that I think he's going to continue to bring. So Matt was number 1. Geckopia was number 2, and then I believe that we are sitting at number 3 as far as the top 3 largest, meaning most subscribers, leopard gecko breeder channels. Luna Geckos, I think, is sitting around number 4 or number 5, but he has really fun, really engaging content that I think you guys will really like. Everyone always has a different personality, right? And Luna's personality is very funny as well as like analytical at the same time. You just got to check it out. Check out his YouTube channel, Luna Geckos, and I think you'll love it. Number 3, I kind of spoiled this guy's entry, but Gekkopia. Gekkopia and I have been like striving at the same amount of followers for so long now. I don't know if he knows this, but I've always looked up to his channel and been like, I'm gonna catch him. I'm gonna catch him. And I just never had. But I'm getting closer. So when I first started noticing Geckopia's channel, he was like 800 followers more than where I was. And it was so hard for me to bridge that gap. Because as you get bigger on YouTube, as long as you stay relevant and make continuous content, YouTube will promote you more and you'll grow faster. And he was doing that. He was making continuous content. And so I started to inch closer, 700, 600. Now I think I looked the other day, I'm 500 followers away from him. So I make it like a personal game of mine to motivate me to make more videos and make more content and be more consistent. I'm like, I'm gonna catch him. I want to surpass him. Now you guys know that we have a great relationship with Geckopia. He comes on our live streams. We love the guy. I think he's an amazing breeder who makes amazing content, which is needed for this day and age to connect the leopard gecko hobby and community to be more fun in breeding and keeping and all of that kind of stuff. So I love the guy, and if I never catch him, then good for him, because that means he's on his grind and on his game. All right, number 2 on the list. I'm happy to say this. I love this guy's geckos, Bubba's Geckos. If you go over to his Instagram, he's had some explosion of growth recently. There's a different way to grow on Instagram than on YouTube. And I noticed this. So little side tip for you guys. On Instagram, people want to see funny stuff, creative stuff. They don't necessarily want to see your best looking stuff. So you could show them a black knight leopard gecko, which is the cream of the crop, creme de la creme, and nobody cares as much as a normal leopard gecko is hatching out of an egg and it still has like little wobbly syndrome. You get what I mean. Or a leopard gecko that licks you on the nose, or you touch it on the nose and it gives you a little lick. Those are the funny and simple things that people want to see on Instagram and TikTok, and that's how you grow on those 2 platforms. But YouTube is much more educational. If you go over to Bubba's Gecko's YouTube channel, he has some amazing content. He brings his funny personality into it, and I think the guy is definitely going places as soon as he starts making more content. He is not so consistent with his YouTube content, but the more that he is consistent with it, he's gonna blow up. Just watch. Now, number 1, I actually don't know if this guy has a YouTube channel, so you guys fact check me and let me know below. And I know I said that they have to have a YouTube channel to be on this list, but this guy is one of the people that I look at the most in the leopard gecko world. And it is the urban gecko, also known as the urban reptile. He's out of Canada and he imports and exports more leopard geckos than I would even imagine most people do in the hobby. He's been around for 20 to 25 plus years, and he has some of the top lines that he has worked with, as well as enhanced and created his own stuff over the years. The reason I follow him so much is because he has some of the best looking geckos on the North American continent, and I think you really can't go wrong following his content, watching his stuff. He makes a lot of like world's first type stuff, like stuff that you just don't really see a lot. He's been featured on a lot of our videos for like the Bell, Black Knight, Eclipse that he created was super cool. And he's also got so many other projects in the working. So I highly suggest that you go over and give him a follow on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, wherever he's at. The Urban Gecko, specifically to follow him for leopard gecko content, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. We also are trying to get him on a live stream Friday episode, so keep an eye out for that. He said he's very busy, maybe in the fall of 2022. So fingers crossed, the fall's coming up. Maybe we could get him on a stream. For now, if you're watching this video, then you could either see it tonight or watch it back, because the second best thing we could do is get another large, influential Canadian breeder to be on our Friday night show, and we we did. NBK Reptiles, who actually does have a YouTube channel, so maybe I should have put him on this list, but he's family owned and operated. I think he's second generation taking over the family reptile breeding business. He's got some really cool stuff. He produces a lot of numbers of animals, and whenever you do that, that fly hit me in the nose, make some really, really cool stuff. And really, really cool stuff does he do. So go ahead and check him out on Instagram or YouTube. He's always showing behind the scenes, which is something that I as a breeder always appreciate, because we learned our vermiculite human hide trick from him to mix vermiculite with eco earth or vermiculite with peat moss. I learned that from watching his videos. And so if you haven't, check out our video on that mixture, because it creates the perfect mixture for babies, juveniles, subadults, or adult breeding leopard geckos to hold moisture longer and deeper in the mixture so that your eggs will not dry out as quickly if you aren't able to get to them as fast. So thank you guys for coming along in this video. What did you think about the 5 that I chose? Who did I miss? And remember, the goal for this video was content creation, leopard gecko people. Let me know in a comment below, and I'm open to hear it and maybe make another video. So I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, have a geeky gecko great day. Peace.